The Presidential Commission of Inquiry reconvenes today. Zulfiq Farzan joins us now from the newsroom for the full details of today's proceedings.
Now, the Presidential Commission of Inquiry says it has received an affidavit from the Prime Minister in response to the questionnaire that was sent to him. Now, in a carefully worded statement, the Presidential Commission says that as they require clarifications and any further necessary evidence, the Commission will be requesting Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to appear before the Presidential Commission for a hearing, of which the date will be announced later. Now, the reason to announce the date later, according to Justice K.T. Chitusiri, is that Justice Prasanna Jayawardena, who suffered an injury to his leg, needs time to recover as he is just out of surgery. And that is why they said the date in which the Prime Minister will appear before the Commission will be announced later. Officers from the Criminal Investigations Department who are assisting the Presidential Commission testified for the first time. They are CID Inspector Ishan Warban, CID Inspector Nalin Dahewat, and CID Police Sergeant Cyril Wanasinghe and S. Mahinda. All of them testified that they never harassed, threatened or made any promises to the people who came before them to provide statements before those people testified before this commission. They even added that if certain amendments were needed to be made to those statements, the person in question who provided that statement was asked to make that amendment in his own handwriting. Now, today, CID Chief Police Inspector Sampath Kumar Senaratna, a well-qualified forensics detective, provided evidence relating to the extraction of material from communication devices, especially from the mobile phone of Arjun Aloysius. Now, the Chief Inspector said that the Criminal Investigations Department uses two reputed softwares for this purpose. One is NCASE, built in the United States, and the other is called UFED, which is built in Israel. Now, he said for the extraction process, he used this software called UFED, and when it came to the extraction of material from the mobile phone of Arjun Aloysius, the Chief Inspector said he had to extract material on 3 separate occasions, mainly because Arjun Aloysius did not give the username and password for his iCloud account. Now, Chief Inspector Senaratna is the only licensed and registered person to use these softwares in the Criminal Investigations Department, and he goes down in history as the first ever witness to testify before a commission with regard to the evidence in relation to extracted material from a mobile device that was subject to a digital forensic investigation. Another witness who testified today was the General Manager of the National Savings Bank, Dhammika Pereira, and he testified that he witnessed former Deputy Governor P. Samarasiri at the meeting which was summoned by former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake with all the heads of the state banks. Yesterday, the Voice Against Corruption organization convening a media briefing said that they are in possession of telephone conversation recordings in relation to the bond auction on the 27th of February 2015. This morning on Newsline, Newsfirst Faraz Shaukat Ali asked convener of the organization, Vasanta Samarasinghe, how did he come into possession of these voice recordings.
But first of all, Mr. Vasanta, I'd like to ask you, how did you get these tapes?
Yeah. So many people have given us to evidence regarding these scams. Then one of our source from outside, really after 2.5 years, this tape sent me by outside.
From outside of Sri Lanka?
Yes, outside of Sri Lanka. He's living in UK. I think so. He's living in UK. After that, he phoned me and...
Is this Sri Lankan man?
Yes, Sri Lankan man, exactly.
It's a Sri Lankan man, not
yes,
a lady?
Not lady, yes.
Right. Okay.
Then I can only say, like, Sri Lankan man, he talked to me, and after that he mentioned to me he had this kind of tape, telephone conversation on that day, on the 15 February 27th, 2015.
That means October. On the day of the auction?
Day of the auction. Yeah. He talked to me and he asking to me, you can release to media. Then that's why he sent me. Then yesterday I After 1 week ago I got it, then I listened and I clarified.
Yeah.
Then after that, yesterday I exposed to the media and country. Then we hope to send it to Presidential Commission too.
However, it must be reiterated that these telephone conversation recordings are not new evidence to the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. These recordings were used to confront people such as the Bank of Ceylon dealer JKD Dharmapala, CEO of Perpetual Treasuries Kasun Palisena, and also Steffi Fernando, an employee of the central bank. All the people who were mentioned in these telephone conversations have been summoned before the Presidential Commission, and they have been asked to testify, and their evidence was recorded. Therefore, these telephone conversation recordings are not new evidence for the Commission. Now today, another important matter took place at the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka, where a fundamental rights petition filed by Perpetual Treasuries Limited was taken up. Let's have a look of what transpired. The Supreme Court today dismissed the petition filed by Perpetual Treasuries Limited regarding their license being suspended by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. The bench, consisting of Chief Justice Priyasad Deb, Justices Buonika Aluvihare and Nalin Pereira, handed down the order taking into consideration the preliminary objections put forward by the Attorney General. Perpetual Treasuries Limited had filed the petition after the Monetary Board suspended its commercial license to operate as a primary dealer for 6 months. Arjun Aloysius filed a petition requesting this decision taken by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank on the 6th of July 2017 be nullified. The Attorney General's Department, presenting facts, said there is no legal right for Perpetual Treasuries Limited to file such a fundamental rights petition.